What was my vision of DACA? It was a teen center for young people. It's a place where young people can come and feel safe. It's a place where young people can come and learn a trade or a skill where they can be exposed to things that may guide them on their career path.
Any kid from 13 to 16-year-old can enroll in this program.
We have cooking, audio, we also have agriculture and video.
There are 4 programs here, so the students that are here are getting a taste of, maybe they were never interested in agriculture, but they're learning so much. We've got those students that then go and cook a meal. For us doing video, we're doing video in here, audio is happening. When we're in here doing video, you can hear the beats being done. So one of my students from the day before, I can hear her voice singing in the other room.
Whether it's the teachers or the youth, but all of us come together to help and support the different programs, and everyone seems to hold like a sense of a bigger picture that all of our programs are connected. You know, when I mention I want to do a project that involves making a compost system so that the food waste from the culinary program can go back into the garden, and that, you know, and the garden feeds the culinary program. So there's that interconnection. Well, then David comes along and says, well, why don't we video that? Why don't we document it? And, you know, and in all their videos, the music department has done the soundtracks. And so it's just like, we're never too far apart.
If someone wants to do a certificate and trying to become a chef, run a restaurant, they can do that here. If they want to become an engineer someplace, they can do that here. If they want to start a farm or be a part of an agricultural project, they can do that here. Same with video. They want to learn how to run their own television station or do their own newscasts. They will learn that here.
The equipment that we have here, you know, you've got all the video equipment and all the computers and all the audio equipment. You know, the kitchen is just out of this world, and we've got these garden beds out here. We've got all the tools we need, a huge pile of soil that we're turning into more food every day.
It's a great program. You enjoy yourself, you meet nice people, you learn something new every day, and it's just like a great experience.
We make them do applications, and we make them do applications for 2 reasons. One is, if you're going to take that time to fill out the application, it shows at least an initial interest that you really want to do something. 2, there's certain parts of the applications that the parents have to sign, they have to take care of. And so we're trying to make sure that the parents get as involved as they possibly can. We encourage the parents to come down here and see what's going on and see what their kids are going to be involved in.
Some of the parents, when they come by, they're kind of like, okay, this place is on Seminary International. I don't know if I want to leave my kid here all day long. And so when they come in, it's like, oh my God, this place is here. And when they walk around, we tell them to stay, have dinner with us, you know, observe what's going on in the workshops. And once they feel comfortable and really see that our best interest is in these kids, that's what our motto is, kids come first. And once the parents see that, then it's like, okay, I feel comfortable leaving my kid here. I feel comfortable, I can just come by anytime and know that it's okay.
I think it's fine that my mom comes. She sees what we're doing, being creative, being ourselves. Yeah, she is here. She listens to the things we do, she sees the things we have done, and she likes it. And after she sees all of that, she actually talks to her friends and tells her everything we're doing, and to motivate them to bring their kids.
For parents who are leery about this area, around this recreation center, they look out for the kids, and everybody looks out for the kids. The people who work at the facilities, the people in the neighborhood look out for the kids. I believe that there are some places that children have to be safe, and we've tried to create that environment.
I, you know, personally, actually feel pretty safe here. And yet I know that at any moment, you know, it may not be a safe place.
I believe East Oakland has a lot of hurt and pain. You don't hear too much, a lot of hurt in other parts of the Bay Area. You hear a lot of negativity that happens specifically here in East Oakland. And I used to live right across the street, and believe me, I've seen a lot violent, dangerous things. And these kids need a safe place to come. Even their own homes are not safe most of the times. And because I've been there and done that. And that's why we can really relate with these kids. And when they come here, it's like, man, there's so much weight off my shoulders. I can just express myself.
This is an interesting place. There are a lot of people who live in this neighborhood who have lived here for a long period of time, 30, 40 years. But it's a neighborhood that has been in transition that is sometimes harsh. And some of the things that children see around here are harsh.
People do care, and people are willing to come here and help, even though the Bay Area has kind of a bad conceived notion about Oakland. But since I've been coming here, I haven't seen any negativity. And I think that using this program will help spread that there's positivity and good people here in Oakland.
I'm not going to say it's the most unsafe place because I don't believe in that. I think that this community around this facility, we've worked very hard to make sure that the young people are safe. But it is a neighborhood that has challenges and a neighborhood where children need opportunity. And so that's what this program is about. The vision of DACA evolved over a period of time. I originally had the city buy this building. It had been vacated some years prior and had become an eyesore. And so I had the city buy this building, and then it sat for 3 years and was still an eyesore because we didn't have the money to make the improvements for the building. After that, I was able to partner with Rebuilding Together Oakland and Pulte Homes, and they did the build out of the space that we're in. It was a very quick process. We literally, from start to finish, had a little bit over a month and a half, from an 11 by 17 design of what this space would look like to fully furnishing this space.
Vice Mayor Desley Brooks, where we're sitting right now and the things that are in this building, it came from her. And her wanting to do something special for the kids in Oakland. And for me, that was the initial impetus for me to be involved, aside from the kids, was her.
So we had over 35 different businesses that actually came and did a portion of this project.
You see a building that you all had a tremendous hand in making become a place where children come to learn all kinds of things. But I see the hope and opportunity that each one of those children has and their ability to maybe find a career path or to find their dream and to realize it. And so the contribution that you made here is invaluable. It's the building, but it's every child that walks through here and decides that they are going to take on a recording career or a video career. Every time I mentioned to somebody that we were building this center, people got excited and they wanted to volunteer. And that's what you did. And when we all come together and work together, we create a community that all of us are proud of.
I would come in here and I'd look at things and I'd say, oh, we need to change this and we need to change that. So I did upgrades, the flooring, the faucets, little things. I think aesthetics are important. And so one of the things that I wanted was when the kids came in, they felt like they were in someplace special. They felt like somebody had taken some time to think about them.
Oh, this program is very special. As soon as you walk through the door, you can just see how special it is just by looking at the facility. And for me personally, it's because I used to be just like these kids. Sometimes not having anything to go to or not having someone that cares. And that's what we really, really try to find people as far as instructors to really put their all into these kids and what it is that they're trying to teach them. And that's a passion for me. It's always to give back and to do something for these kids.
It was really funny to watch the faces of even the Pulte people because, you know, you're working on something and you don't always see the overall picture until it's done and you step back and you say, wow. And people, when they walked in the door, they were like, wow, this is really pretty.
My first impression walking through the door was, the first thing I did was smell. But everything smells new. Like you can smell the paint, you can smell the wood, you know, you can smell all the new appliances. And then when you walk past the first corridor there, the kitchen's there. And when I walked in, it smelled like my grandma's house or something, something delicious. So I was like, wow, this has got like a home feel to it.
In a neighborhood like this, there are kids who will go to bed hungry at night. Their last meal will be at school at lunchtime. And so the ability to have a culinary program where young people can cook and we can feed them is a good thing.
It's not like school, it's like having fun because you're cooking and not doing like homework and doing math and stuff, but you're really cooking.
Before this, I don't know how to cook anything besides eggs. So it's like breakfast would be it. But now it's like I can make chicken and I can make a salad, which I couldn't do before, just taking it out the bag. So it's a bunch of fun learning how to cook.
The one thing about teaching this age group, 13 to 16, is their excitement. A lot of times they get put down because they didn't do this or that, but when the true thing of them just cutting an onion and doing it okay and not needing a Band-Aid was was really the highlight of the program. But just progressing on and having them start to read labels, see what's on that package before you open it or drink it, and try and go as natural as possible, because that's the key to a good diet.
We get to cut the onions. We know if you cut onions, you will cry. You need to be prepared not to cut your fingers with the gigantic blades.
The first day, we took the knives out of the plastic and we washed them all, and everybody had them all on their cutting boards. And we're going through the safety of how to handle a knife, how to walk with a knife, how to dice, how to slice. And wow, it's like I was getting scared. The first week went by, and then the second week, people were cutting and slicing and dicing, no problems. So it's funny when someone cuts themselves now, it's almost like, oh, I almost forgot you can get cut. So at least that tells me they're learning how to use a knife.
My son, when I'm cook, he wants to help me, right? And now he wanna do it.
Cooking was one of the very first experiences where I felt like I didn't need anybody to help me with. I'm hoping to create my own foods and travel the world to places I'd never been, meet most of my favorite heroes, and hopefully go on Iron Chef.
With the culinary skills that I'm learning now and stuff like that, I can process it into me being a great chef and owning my own restaurant and getting people to eat more healthier.
I do like cooking and I do like gardening, and I'm trying to work on both of them as much as I can, because one reason why I like both of them together is because I can grow my food while I cook it.
It's been really inspiring working with the kids, with these teenagers, training them on urban agriculture. Right now we're really in the first phase of doing the food production, getting them experience with working with the plants, and just all the stuff that they need to do to be able to grow the food. And really what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of interest, and there's really a tradition of food production with these kids. A lot of them already have garden experience working with their grandparents in their gardens.
I've been to the Boys and Girls Club, I've been in a bunch of different music programs, I've been in studio working time kind of programs, but I've never been to a place where they had their own garden. And it's like, we have stuff for the salad.
For me, it's just really satisfying to see these kids get their hands in the dirt, to see them experience something that they may not have ever done, or that they may have a little experience with, and really enjoy it and really become empowered, and give them an opportunity to really to claim their natural authority that I think all of us deserve. It's really powerful to be able to plant a seed and water it and watch it grow, and to be able to eat it and to give it to other people. There's something in that that's really magical that we as a society really have kind of lost touch with.
One of my best days was when I started to plant the cucumbers. When they were growing, we started planting Christmas lima beans, and the Christmas lima beans surprisingly grows real fast. It took them about 3 days tops to grow, because they grew over the weekend. And the cucumber, they're as big as the cucumbers now.
just that experience of having a student take on a task and get so into it that his heart was racing, and to be so invested in it, that was really awesome.
We need to expose our kids to not just getting a job, but pursuing a career path that is pleasing to them. And so I always knew I wanted to do a recording studio.
The thing about making music is that it is a cross-cultural and cross-generational bridge builder. It is a way of bridging cultural, socioeconomic differences that almost nothing else does.
The music class, you get to go in the studio, record songs, you get to make your own beat and come up with your songs and just have fun with what you're doing.
I feel that they get more out of it when they are allowed a little more freedom to explore and find what resonates for them.
When we record songs, he lets us have our own world in the studio. Instead of him telling us what we should say, he's like, take a second, think about it, go back in the studio, do.
Freestyle.
I'm about to do George rap. Okay, I play rock, paper, scissors, and dominoes. I have a little bit of chili on my nachos, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. Now I got a big fat Cadillac.
Where'd you get this from?
My brother.
My brother made that. What? You gonna hold that up? Well, you got a lyric all ready to go with?
It's not so incumbent upon them to know the inner workings of the parameters on a compressor plug-in as it is knowing how to get in the chair, pull up Pro Tools, and create music.
We're learning how to use Pro Tools and how to, well, at the moment we're learning how to take the sound from Pro Tools and mix it to put it on a CD.
Once you get behind the keyboards or the sound system, you know you're in control, and then becomes another adventure. Oh, I didn't know I could make that sound. You know, oh, let me put those two sounds together.
If we can spark, you know, that one, you know, young person to, wow, I hear this beat, can you help me, you know, get that out of my head and really bring it into the world? And then that happens, and then they live in the world knowing that they can do that, you know, or they had a story to tell, and I show them these tools and they go, oh, you know, I can put that there and then look what happens. Done, you know.
This is a place where they can come and be creative and where they can explore the things that they want to do. And one of the things that I really liked was that in this space, this video studio, they were going to be able to tell their own stories from a perspective that many people have not heard.
Usually they come in and they've never handled a professional camera like this. So the first thing that I do, I'm not a filmmaker that it says don't touch the camera, you know, this is what this does, this is what this does. I say here's the record button, and I hand them the camera. I say put the strap on, you know, to make sure that it doesn't fall, period. And you're gonna go outside and you're gonna film some things. That immediately gets them comfortable with the camera. And then they come back and they ask the right questions.
We're learning how long to make a movie, and we understand how they're made. So in actual movies, when we go to the movie theater or wherever and watch a movie, we know how it's made.
Unlike best for doing video, you get to move things around, put picture behind the video, and it looks nice.
If you loosen this, then you're not having to fight it so much. See how it's kind of tight? It's my job to do a couple of things, to teach them on very sophisticated equipment so that they can go out and have knowledge and be able to get work, and also to be able to express themselves through this medium.
Every day, the culinary class, they cook enough for everyone. At 6 o'clock, we stop and we all eat together like family. We all sit around the table, we talk about what's happened for the day, how your weekend was, what's going on at school, what's happening. We talk every day, just like a family.
Having dinner with your family was always stressed to me as a kid. When we grew up, you had to have dinner with the family. And there was no reason other than being sick that you didn't sit at the dinner table and have dinner with the family. Not only did you have to have dinner with the family, but you had to come with a report or a poem by some famous Black person so that we would learn our history. I grew up in neighborhoods that I wasn't surrounded by African American folks. And so my parents wanted to make sure that we were clear on who we were. And so you had to come to dinner and you had to come prepared with a poem or some history about African Americans. And it was at the dinner table that you learned about life, that you learned how to socialize, that you learned about politics, about all kinds of things. Those discussions took place at the dinner table.
How dinner time is like everybody come sit at the two tables and we all crack jokes and be laughing, drinking orange juice. The orange juice is very good, yeah. And we have good food, everybody be eating, saying, good job, whoever cooked this. And then we just sit here and talk like we're a big family.
We get to have a lot of jokes at the end of the day, and everybody gets fed, and everybody can have their own opinions, and it's basically a place where you can do your own thing.
It's pretty much just us coming together as if it was like a Saturday and you haven't seen your friends in about 25 years or something. Then it's like a recap. And then since we're all eating, there are those silent moments and we're all looking around like laughing because we have really small silent moments before something funny happens again. It's just one gigantic family coming together to say stuff. And then you leave completely happy. And you talk about it on the phone for about 2 hours before you hang up, go to bed, wake up and come back and do it all over again.
It's really neat to see, it's like a social training that's happening. And that's another aspect really of food that is kind of lost to our culture. We don't have time to sit down. Not all of us have time to sit down and have a meal with our family or our friends, and it's a treat.
It is good that the instructors sit with us. I'd say it's important just so we know that they're there and they're part of our family. It's not just the kids fending off for themselves and the adults are pretty much the wardens in here. They're part of the family. They're here to make sure we're happy and everyone's understanding and we're all together.
I've gotten jobs because I have social skills that I would not have gotten had I not have learned etiquette. And that's being taught passively at the dinner table here. And that's pretty neat to be able to take part in that. And it's not something that you necessarily have to do from up above. It's just something that is led by example and by encouraging good behavior. And sometimes it gets a little rowdy because it's a room full of teenagers, but it's generally pretty easy and clean.
One of the things that I think that we're lacking today is people taking the time to sit and interact with each other and have dinner as a family. That is good quality time. We're a family here, and so that's what the dinner. Once the kids who are in the culinary program cook the meal, then everybody comes together and collectively.
I'd like to see DACA be something that people talk about right here, something that people are proud of. And I'd like to see a storefront. It'd be really awesome to have a storefront where we could vend vegetables. We might be able to sell food. We might be able to have people come in and do an audio recording in a little studio or something. There's demand for that. Who knows? There's a lot of things that we could do tying into just the lay community, the professional community, and it'd be really neat to see this project grow.
In 5 years, I hope that DACA is just flourishing, that the programs are full, that we've taken over another building, that we have equipment so that each individual student could have their own workstation or their own, area they're working in the garden, and that we have already had young folks come out of the program and do something with what they have learned here.
Where we may have, instead of, let's say, 18 students, we might have 25 to 30 students. And I hate to say it, maybe we become so popular that they push us out of this building, we have to go somewhere else that's even larger. But I think there needs to be more programs like this, where students can go, they can be creative, they can feel protected, they can experiment and not be afraid to fail and being laughed at if they fail. But that seems like the big thing now. If you fail, you're going to get laughed at. But I think if you provide a safe learning environment, and people are always saying, well, they're looking for somewhere to get off the streets. Well, here we are, and we could have 5 or 6 satellites all throughout Oakland doing the same thing.
I'm hoping that they'll be inspired to want to pursue this on their own after the fact. This is not, in a 5-week cycle, I think is, where we're doing these things. We don't have that much time to do a whole lot of stuff. I'm hoping to expose them to this, that, and this, and that. Take a pop song and deconstruct it and say, here's how they did that. And here's how, given the tools, you could do something like this too.
I think my hope is that some of the young folks are transitioning out and really finding things that fit for them, that they have, feel like, oh, yeah, I've done some of that, Oh yeah, I've cut a couple of, songs and written a song and made a few videos and, oh yeah, I've cooked some high quality, I have more choices here. So, but the program in 5 years, I would just like to see it really just continue to succeed and serve more and more young people.
When these kids, leave this program, I want them to be able to experience the world, to take it in, and to be able to do so with a good standard of living. And 2, I want them to be able to get back. I want them to be able to bring it back here, and turn this into what it should be. A prosperous, healthy, happy community with an integrated network of professionals and families and a neighborhood. We deserve that.
What do I hope that the children of this center will take away when they graduate out? I hope that during the time that they were here, that they felt like they were supported, that they were loved, that they found something that was their passion, whether it be in one of the disciplines that we teach here or they found something else. I hope that by the time they leave here with a sense of confidence. I was listening to a program that Whoopi Goldberg was on, and she talked about having had the chance to meet the Dalai Lama. And one of the things that he said was that if we are confident in ourselves, then we make the world a better place. And so the ability for our children to leave here knowing that they are capable of doing whatever they hope to do is a wonderful thing. And if we can give these kids that, then we've done a good thing.